While many studies are published every year, many of these use poor techniques and designs. While it applies across fields, it is certainly an issue when it comes to questions about EMF exposure. This results in wasted time, effort, and of course may lead to increased concerns when there is no need for them. This highlights the importance of using relevant quality control measures for studies. In this video, we will cover the main measures that you should expect to see in a high-quality study. Every study should begin with a hypothesis, a question that the study is attempting to answer. Then, through a study design, the researcher should outline how that question will be answered. In many cases, the proposal will also need to obtain ethics approval if it involves animals or people. The next step is for experts to build or assemble the dosimetry or exposure system that will be used in the study. This will then determine and control many parameters. The more that are controlled, the more exacting the study. Such a system will include how the exposure is done, for how long, the output power, and many other factors, including the temperature, for example. This will ensure that the exact conditions under which the study was conducted can be documented. And, if replicated by other research teams, the exact same conditions can be used. Next is the recruitment of subjects, and how the subjects are recruited and the criteria used for their involvement also needs to be well documented. This applies to how and why particular animals or cell lines were used. They then need to be randomly assigned to different groups. One group that will be exposed, another that will appear to be exposed but aren't, a so-called sham-exposed group, and ideally, a third or control group that also receives no exposure at all. Whether a sham and a control group are needed will depend on the study, but they can help identify whether other factors, such as stress, may have influenced the outcomes observed, as both groups received no exposure. A key element in these studies is blinding. This means that those analyzing the results aren't aware of which group the subjects were in. Blinding ensures that the results can be assessed without bias, such as looking at the data more specifically to find something in the group that was known to be exposed. If a study is undertaken with these various quality control measures in place and the published paper details each of these steps, the overall value of the study is much higher, irrespective of the results. If it did observe something, then the chances of a study being able to be replicated are high, which is another critical element in science. When these measures are not included and documented, the value is very low. And it's surprising just how many studies fall into this group. Don Gus, 2021, evaluated all studies that investigated biological and health effects of Wi-Fi exposure and found that out of 1,385 papers, only 23 fulfilled basic quality measures. And in a review by Karapedes, 2021, of 107 studies that investigated possible bioeffects in cells, the majority of studies were found to be using less than 2 of the quality measures and only 1 study using all of them. As Sweden's Radiation Safety Authorities, or SSM, Scientific Council on Electromagnetic Fields, who publish annual reports on the state of EMF research, has commented, many studies have been excluded due to poor quality. From a scientific perspective, studies of poor quality are irrelevant. They are also a waste of money, human resources, and, in many cases, experimental animals. Research plays an important role in helping us answer the questions that we have, irrespective of the topic. To do so effectively, we need to ensure that the studies that are done are of the highest quality in order to help provide the answers that we seek.